Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital of Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Rob Jarrell.
And today we're going to do a preview on this weekend's boxing action. It's kind of light, unfortunately. On the full fight spectrum side, we do have UFC 202 this weekend. We'll be doing a separate video on that. So check that out if you are a fan of MMA as well. But we're going to touch on Vyacheslav Shabranskyy fighting on, is it Friday or Saturday?
He's on, I want to say he's on Saturday on Australia TV.
Yes.
Australia.
A channel that I don't even know if I have. I doubt I do. But he's fighting a gentleman, was it Oscar Riojas? Riojas. I keep forgetting that I name.
Yeah.
But that's going to be an 8-rounder. You might be able to catch it online, like via one of your streaming websites. And tune in early because it's probably not going to be competitive.
Yeah.
And it's not going to go long.
Shabranskyy is undefeated, mostly by knockouts.
Yes.
And Rioja is 10-5-1. So I can't really see it going any more than 3 rounds. And that's being generous.
Yeah. He's trying to stay busy until he gets, more fights in and starts to get some big names. So we're just waiting to see what happens with him. On Sunday, we have a fight for Keith Thurman's welterweight title mandatory, in which we have Errol Spence facing Leonard Bundu. And Bundu is very familiar with Keith Thurman because they have fought already. What you got, Rob?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup because we know Leonard Bundu is going to want to rematch Thurman, try to take his belt in a fight where a lot of people said it's one-sided. I thought it was fairly competitive for the whole match because Bundu kept coming forward. He stayed pretty hard to hit. He's very short. He's an older gentleman. I think it's like 40.
He's up there.
He's like 39 or 40.
He's been around the block.
But
he's got that veteran savvy.
But he can create a shell. He is hard to hit, being shorter and fairly heavily muscled at 147. But he's going against a guy, Errol Spence, who is very young.
Yeah.
Very talented.
Very heavily muscled.
Very heavily muscled. Very fast. And a southpaw.
Yes.
And is Bundu a southpaw? I don't think he's a southpaw.
No, I don't think he is either.
So, and Spence has been pretty much rocking for a while. He knocked out Chris Algieri,
which had not been done. He had been dropped 6 times by Manny Pacquiao, and he got up 7 times, even though he was almost whitewashed.
That's right.
He still got up.
And so Bundu is dealing with a guy who has a lot of advantages, so he's going to have to use that veteran savvy to make it difficult for Spence.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's winning, but it is probably not a fight that he's going to look great in unless he does some stuff to look great.
Yeah, he's going to have to crowd Spence. That's something that I haven't seen anybody try to do yet, is try to move forward on him. Probably because he's so accurate and hits pretty hard at that weight class. And he does have subtle defense where, like, he's not really moving his head, but he does know how to change levels and the angle of which his head is at. He's not like actively moving his head a lot, and even when people throw, he's not doing a lot of bobbing and weaving. It's usually simply just one move to prepare for a counterpunch, and those counterpunches are very hard. So Bundu, to my knowledge, has not been stopped.
He has not.
So that is where we have the Spence report card. Can he stop a guy that went up against one time and took his best shots and steamroll him like he did with Chris Algieri? Because Algieri was another tough guy. He had been down twice versus Provodnikov. He had been down 6 times versus Pacquiao. But like we said, he continued to get up. He got up and went on to beat Provodnikov, and he survived versus Manny Pacquiao. And then he gets obliterated by Errol Spence. So this is another one for Errol Spence to say, hey, I'm getting these guys out of here. it is my time. You champions have to fight me, because I know Thurman and Spence have been linked for a while now, especially with the former welterweight kingpin saying that Thurman had to beat Spence in order for him to get a shot at him.
Right.
So this fight has been drumming up interest for a while.
Yeah, and with Spence, I think in this fight he can't be discouraged because he's very offensive minded. I haven't seen a lot of head movement and a lot of change of levels as far as defensively, but I also haven't seen a real reason to, because he literally overwhelms his opponents with very hard, very fast, very explosive, and very accurate shots.
Yes.
And being that Bundu is prepares for the counter punch, he can block punches, he can change levels. Errol Spence can't rush, he can't over punch, he can't tire himself out. He's got to really stay fairly calm, fairly collected, and pick his shots and find the openings. If I'm not mistaken, he actually trains in the same camp as one of the Charlo brothers.
Yes.
Down in Texas.
With Ronnie Shields.
Yes. So something like that, I think, and if you've seen the Charlo brothers, they're actually very patient as fighters, very technically sound. I think that will prove to give him a lot of experience in staying within himself and staying patient.
Right. And for Bundu, like I said earlier, he has to crowd him. He has to do it intelligently, because he'll have to get through Spence's accurate, hard shots. But once he gets there, rough him up, make it an ugly fight, make Spence, come out of himself. Like Rob said, he has to stay composed. Bundu has to test that composure. Mm-hmm. So he has to get in there, make it ugly, rough him up, move him around, throw those sneaky body shots, and maybe as the fight goes on, if he survives all of that, makes it interesting later on in the fight. How do you see it going?
Errol Spence, I'm going to say a unanimous decision. I think Bundu has shown enough that he probably won't be knocked out.
Yeah.
I think he's going to present a challenge in spots. He's going to fight back.
Yes.
He's going to fight back. But I just don't think he's going to have enough. I see it 10-2 at the best, because I just think Spence's work rate, his activity, his power, they're very telling shots. I think that's just going to keep Bundu discouraged from throwing back and just trying to make it through the fight.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I think I could agree with that. So tune in. It's on NBC in the afternoon, correct?
I thought it was PBC on Spike.
No, it's on Sunday.
Sunday, that's when...
Yeah, PBC on Spike is usually Friday nights. They do the Friday night knockout or whatever. I believe it's on network TV. It's like part of their Olympic coverage, Spence being a former Olympian and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is on, PBC on NBC. Yeah. It doesn't have a time. That is for the IBF welterweight eliminator. Sorry, I had my phone. I had to look that up and make sure. We've already talked about the Shabranskyy fight. Yeah. And another pretty decent fight, if you want to look at it, is Jose Uzcategui versus Fabiano Pena. That's going to be interesting because Uzcategui is trying to work his way up for a championship bout versus the winner of DeGale and Badu Jack.
Yeah. So that's something else to look out for, probably on internet stream, because it won't be televised on a major network.
I think it's like BN Sports TV or something like that.
I actually have that channel.
I think it's on there.
Because I recorded the Margarito fight, because I set my thing to record anything that said boxing. And I was like, oh snap, the Margarito fight's on my DVR. Score. So, but we're breaking off on a tangent. That's really all we got for this one. We just got to tune in, see how it plays out. Make sure you like this video. If you have not done so, subscribe to our channel. We got a lot more coming. We actually have some more MMA stuff coming as well for all you MMA fans out there.
We haven't forgot about you.
That's right. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming at cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.